Only thing I'm investing in right now is this farm, because that's what's going to feed me. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's going to take care of me. This is sheltering me. I got 2 houses on here, 2 cabins. You know what I'm saying? And more, and we're looking to add more. But the thing is, you have to start somewhere. You don't have to jump out and try to make the biggest investment of your life. Start small and grow. Start small and grow. It's all about starting small, because guess what? If you start large and you happen to make a major mistake, you might not be able to bounce back from it. You may not be able to bounce back from it. So I'm telling you to start small, grab you a nice piece of land, half acre, acre, quarter acre, whatever it is you can afford. But I say go to the auction and get you something really, really inexpensive, really, really cheap. So you don't have to worry about having a mortgage on it. Because if you have a mortgage on it, that defeats the purpose. That keeps you locked into a job. When you get mortgages on properties, when you get car notes, these jobs, one thing a job can depend on is someone that has debt. When you show that you have a lot of debt, that job knows that you have to show up every day. That's almost like insurance for them. When they know you have to pay a car note, they know you don't want that car note. You don't want that car to go back to the dealership, so they know you're going to show up for work every day. They know you don't want your mortgage to go into foreclosure, so they're going to show you. They know you're going to show up every day. It's debt slavery. So you give your hand away when you accumulate all this debt. If you know how to utilize the debt with a 3-unit, 4-unit apartment, or multifamily, and you living in one of the units and the other 2 or 3 units is paying for your mortgage, that's good debt. Because those other 2 or 3 units is going to pay for your principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and your escrow servicing fee on your property. That's good debt. But if you're going out here and purchasing a Mercedes-Benz 2026 without the intentions of renting that car out, even if you're going to rent the car out, that's still not a good look, because guess what? If that car is not being rented out, you're going to have to foot that bill. Not everybody needs to rent a car, but most people need the house to stay in. So a 3-unit, 4-unit multifamily place isn't a bad look. It's a good look. Good debt and bad debt is a real thing. I don't want to be out here saying don't get into debt for nothing. No, that's not a good message. If you know how to utilize the debt, get into it. But if you don't know how to utilize the debt, stay away from it until you know how to utilize it. You know what I'm saying? This is where it's at out here. No mortgage, no debt. You know what I mean? No boss, no authority figure. The only authority figure out here is nature and God, the universe, God. It rains. It gets dry for 6 months out of the year. You know what I'm saying? Hurricanes. Nature is our authority. When it rains outside, nature tell us we can't do certain things. If it's flooding outside, don't plant over here. Right? So, it's about growing, baby. We off grid, man. It ain't about having the biggest house and the biggest car and the biggest this and that. No, it's about getting off the matrix, getting off the grid, being able to do for self, take care of family. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. It's so beautiful out here. All this life, living in the concrete jungle. New York City, Philadelphia, Chicago, Los Angeles, Miami. All of that death, culture, no life. Because you're surrounded by the concrete jungle. The concrete jungle. Not this type of jungle. This is the jungle that you want to be at. Look at that. That done bloomed and blossomed. That done bloomed up there. So you're going to have some coconuts coming in right there. Look up there. You got coconuts coming in up there. You got coconuts coming in up there. Yeah, talk to me nice. Yeah, this is what it is out here. This is an abundant lifestyle that people don't really want to talk about. They want to talk about investing in this, investing in that, investing in this, investing in that. But you know what? The farm is the best investment out there right now. Sustainable living is the biggest thing going on right now. Being able to do for self without having to go and ask anybody for anything, that's the best thing out there right now. Because having your hand out and wanting something and having to ask this one for this one and that one for that one, it's draining on the body. It's stressful. Having to go and show up at a 9 to 5 and having to deal with a bunch of different co-workers and their energy because their wife or their husband is abusive to them and their kids is no, they don't listen and pay. Like, listen, it's a war going on outside. It's a war going on outside, and a lot of us is looking at war in the fashion of army fatigues and MR-16s and all these major guns. The war has changed. It's a war on your mind. It's a war on your body. It's a war on your food. It's a war on the relationships. It's a war on everything. And if you're not able to get out of that war, you're going to be sucked up. You're going to be sucked into it. And you're not going to be able to help yourself. You're not going to be able to help self. If a war goes on right now and breaks out in the United States, what are you going to do? What are you going to do if a war breaks out in the United States? They said, well, what are you going to do if a war breaks out in Central America? I'm going to stay right here. And I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm going to eat everything off the land. I can go over there right now and pick off apples for days. I got coconuts for days. Yeah. I got 50 plus mango trees here for days. Cacao, cinqueya, ricotta, cashew trees, banana, plantain, plum, starfruit, breadfruit, avocado, craboo, you name it. And I got seeds as well. Seeds is a new currency. Get you some seeds, because you never know when you're going to need. But, you know, here I am on my land, off grid, no mortgage, no water bill, no electrical bill, damn near no food bill, because you see all these coconut trees in the background, right? You see all these fruit trees in the background. You know what I'm saying? I'm not losing myself in the sauce. I'm staying focused, because they are dominating the headlines. I have the time to watch the headlines because I don't have I'm free. I'm physically free. But you in a 9 to 5 every day with an hour break. How do you have the time to keep up with Dame Dash, Charlie Kirk, Donald Trump, Iran, Russia, Elon Musk, your kids, your husband, your wife? How do you have the time to keep up with all of this and everything else? You don't. And this is why you're behind right now, because you're focused on everything outside of yourself but you. You need to be focused on how you can be in a position where Dame Dash is, to where you're sitting in front of a lake every time you're at your house, or you're on a 25,000 square foot ranch or 25 acre ranch. You got to start figuring these things out and stop getting lost in the sauce. Because these guys can take care of their family. This one thing you got to do, and one thing you probably did this morning when you rose, is you had to eat. Not only did you had to eat, you grabbed something to drink. Look at what we doing out here. We planting 100 plus coconut trees right now. Right now, we planted 100 plus coconut trees. Look at that. There's one right there. You come around, there's two. You come around, there's three. We're lining the driveway on both sides. 4, 5, 6, 7, on up. On up. Because guess what? We understand that we have to drink every day. I don't drink faucet water. I drink coconut water. I drink Mother Nature's breast milk. I drink watermelon juice. I drink food from nature. I drink everything from nature. Where is everybody at with the farming? Where is everybody at with having their own land with no mortgages? Where is everybody at with their own compounds in the States? Yeah. Where's all of those people at? See, we tapped in with how to get the money and buy cars and look good and trying to keep up with the Joneses. But where is it that we can actually go outside and grab our own mango out the tree, or apples and pears and plums and peaches and bananas and lettuce and tomatoes and cucumber? Where are those folks at in abundance from the black community? Where are we at? When are we going to tap into that? When are we going to tap into doing for self, being sustainable, so we don't have to go to the jobs next week? And no matter if we go to a job or not, we still know that we can live every day and eat every day and feed our family every day. When are we going to tap into that energy? Because this is a new day. It's a new day. Massive job layoffs, people getting fired, You know what I'm saying? Robots taking over. I mean, how many of y'all have lost your job because of a robot? Huh? How many of y'all have lost your job because of layoffs? It's not a good feeling to not be able to take care of yourself. And then your family, if you have one. It's just really not a good feeling. You know what I'm saying? So what we have to do is we have to be able to take care of self, because if we can't take care of self, we always going to be looking for the government. And the government doesn't have your best interests at heart. While they should be working on behalf of the people, them folks are working on behalf of themselves. They got families to feed and put through college. They not worried about you. When you look at C-SPAN and you look at all these government channels where they passing policies and yays and nays and ayes and s and all that, listen, it's 1 to 2 people that look like me in that crowd of people. So I'm not looking for them people to have my best interest at heart. If I'm looking at C-SPAN and I'm looking at the sea of people out there, there's about 1 to 2 individuals in that crowd that look like me. How the hell am I expecting the government to have my best interest at heart and nobody in there looks at me? They don't even know what it feels like to be in my shoes. Excuse me. But let's just be real. What we do is, when things don't go our way, we up in arms, we hollering, it's like we have no real legs to stand on, because we don't want to read the Constitution. We don't want to become enlightened about the Bill of Rights. Huh? Yes, the Declaration of Independence, law. We just don't. We just want to watch reality TV, NFL, NBA, keeping up with the Joneses, Instagram. We are so caught up in this matrix that if they shut everything down like they did COVID, again, we are right back in the same position. We didn't learn from our mistakes the first time. The mistake your first time was not being able to go outside and get your own food. Not being able to turn your water on without having to pay that well water, or that county water bill. Not being able to not go without paying your mortgage and having to ask for debt relief. Your mistake was not learning from that the first time. And now when it comes around again, you can't have nobody to blame but yourself. And what you see me on right now is my farm. For y'all that don't know, I'm completely off grid. I have no electrical bill. I have no water bill. I have no mortgage payment. I have no lease. I own everything free and clear. And I'm saying all of that because physically I'm free. But that's just one half of this whole pie. Mentally, I'm still enslaved, and I'm still caught up in the matrix. And while I will say that the physical freedom, it wasn't easy, but I don't see that being as difficult as this mental freedom that I'm seeking is. This mental freedom that I'm seeking is very difficult. And I think part of the reason is because of the indoctrination that I've had over the years of my life. When you're used to doing something every day, it's embedded in your subconscious. And psychologically, it's a habit. It's a habit. You know what I'm saying? It's something that whatever it may be, whether that is waking up every day to go to work. You know what I'm saying? Waking up every day to take care of somebody. It's almost like, no matter what I've done in the past, let's back up. It's almost like I can't break free from the shackles. That's what it feels like right now. And you may say, well, what shackles and what brains are they? The shackles of me feeling like my worth, me feeling like I have low self-esteem. That's that's a problem that I have up here that I don't know how to overcome. Me dealing with the fear of rejection. Me dealing with insecurity, me dealing with the fear of abandonment. That is real. And a lot of people don't like to talk about it because we all like to come on camera and appear perfect and our lives are just so good and this and that. But as we can see from the Charlemagne the God and Dame Dash interview, black men, people in general, but black men in particular, we really have a lot of mental health issues that we have to deal with. And it's sickening because Charlemagne goes to therapy And for him to be in therapy and have the wisdom that he has, for him to try to gaslight and trigger Dame Dash the way that he did and was, it's disturbing to me. But that's besides the point. The point that I'm making is the mental blockages that I have in my mind is something that I'm struggling with. And it's crazy because I don't know how to overcome some of my hasty moves and lashing out and emotional volatility. You know what I'm saying? And just not knowing how to control my anger sometimes. I'm saying, especially with people that you quote unquote say you love. You know what I'm saying? It's so difficult to me to control myself sometimes when it comes to that type stuff, especially when someone gets under my skin. When someone gets under my skin and we supposed to be cool or whatever, I have a really difficult time controlling myself with reacting. And it's not a good thing because I may react a particular way that may not be so forgiving. And because I was so in my head, or I was so selfish, I wasn't even thinking about how that would affect the other person that I'm actually talking to. Whether it's my mother, my grandmother, whoever it could be, significant other, partnerships, whoever. It's not a good thing overall. It's fucking up my bottom line. It's messing up my relationships. You know what I'm saying? And when things like that start to mess up your relationships and you become aware of it, you have to fix those things. I have to fix it because I'm all about leveling up. I'm all about getting better. I'm not about staying stagnant. Y'all been watching me. If y'all go through my old videos, I've been increasingly getting better year after year after year, at least physically. I've been getting better mentally as well. But it's just, I'm at a point now where I could focus on it 1,000%. Well, I'm almost there 1,000%. I'm still working on trying to get this thing operating to a level to where it only requires just a small amount of my attention in regards to maintenance. And we're not going to get there for at least 4 to 5 years. I don't see that happening for at least 4 to 5 years to where I can actually have this thing oiled and running like a well-oiled machine. It's going to take some time, but that's okay. I will be getting my mental health in order throughout that process, working with the plants, working with the trees, listening to the birds, other insects, becoming more familiar with nature, learning about herbs. You know what I'm saying? It's a process out here, man. And I know I come on camera sometime and it may seem like I'm all over the place and I'm confused, and that's okay. That's just a part of my journey. And you just a part of that, and I'm just showing you what it is to be raw and uncut. At least from my perspective, I'm showing you what I am as a raw and uncut human individual that doesn't have any outside strings attached to no corporation, no this, no that, no nothing. Now, Stephen A. Smith said something a couple days ago. I was watching him, and he was saying you could be on YouTube and you might not have a boss or whatever, but you still got to answer to somebody because these people have the ability to come through and flag your channel and stop your message from reaching the masses. And he was right. If you don't have your own platform, it's very difficult to say that you're a boss and you're independent. And if you do have your own platform, salute to you. That'd be something that I would be looking into probably in the future when I can actually afford that type stuff. But, I probably can afford it now, and I just don't even know what it takes to have your own platform like that. But at the end of the day, and maybe that's what I will need in order to help me become or deal with my mental blockages and freedom that I'm going through. But anyhow, I felt like I should come on here and talk about this because mental health is a real thing. And I never saw a therapist. I think I saw a therapist when I was younger when my mother was having problems with me. I actually did see a therapist. She was having problems with me. I think I was in middle school or maybe late elementary. I don't even remember. But I've never seen one as an adult. And I actually thought about it. I was deliberating about it. I made some calls. A friend of mine, she actually gave me some recommendations of some therapists, but I never made the call I never made an appointment. So I never really was able to get that and talk my feelings out and my things out and hear it from another perspective, that as a third party. And I think that sometimes that's important with someone that you can trust. It doesn't always have to be a professional, it could be a close friend. But if you need that third party that's going to be at arm's length distance, I think that's a great tool as well, especially for people like me, because I'm not always right. And when you get to positions like this, when you don't have any people around you to tell you what to do, sometimes you may feel like just because you got here, or I may feel like just because I got here, I may not need to listen to you, or I may not need to put up with your BS, or I think not that I'm right every time, because I know I'm not. I done made plenty of mistakes, and y'all seen me make a $4,000 mistake with the plumber, or I'm sorry, the well guy that I ended up hiring when I first got here. But so I know that I'm not infallible. I know that I'm a work in progress, and I'm okay with that. I'm all right with my journey. I'm loving this journey. How can I not love it? Look at where I'm at. But mentally, I want to get to a space to where I'm treating people the way I want to be treated. I'm not lashing out to you when you ask me a question that was very, very basic. Very basic. And because I'm frustrated, because I think you should know these answers, now I'm giving you the third degree, wondering why you don't know it, or talking to you like you should know it. That is a huge problem. Has anybody out there ever had those problems where y'all talk to people like they should know something and it's like, how dare you talk to someone like that? How dare I talk to someone as if they should know something that I think they should know? Everybody's different. You got to give people grace. I have to give people grace. And I say that I'm talking to myself when I'm speaking to you. Real talk. So, with that, man, listen, I appreciate y'all for watching me. I really do. Because without y'all viewing me, I would just be out here showing my life. Even if I got no views. It would be like, why am I showing it? Because nobody's watching, but I would just be documenting it because it's like taking a picture. You got a photo book. You got family members that may come down after the line and say, oh, that was cousin C, or that was daddy, or, whoever. You know what I'm saying? This is a photo book of me living. So with that, I appreciate y'all for watching. This is See Thy Wealth, water your health, drink a glass of water.